Hello everyone. Hello. Today is October 18th. I have my ring light on. It is Wednesday, October 18th, and I just listened to Joni Patry, and she talks about events and Jupiter and Uranus in the heavens. I actually have Uranus in Leo along with Mars. I have a lot of planets in Leo. So welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I am a shamanic witch. My love of the heavens is just not going to go away. It's amazing how when she predicts things, something happens somewhere, somehow, some way. And of course it can affect us in our daily lives as well, to a lesser or a greater degree. When I went to my assignment the other day, the last class before they went to library at the end of the day was a project, an assignment that they had to do about constellations. A teacher was in there to help me because I lost track of time. I didn't pick them up from lunch. So she was in there, which gave me a break. And she was constantly telling them to be quiet. But this video was on by another teacher who was instructing how to make a poster about a constellation and a lot of the things about the constellation. And then there was a handbook that I needed to hand out to everyone, little thin handbook. What was it called? I think it was called Guide to the Constellations. And so there was groups assigned a particular constellation. They had to pull out a draft and they had to draw the constellation. They had to look at the book, create a diagram, and they had to label the stars that were inside the constellation. They had also talked about events that happen 2 times a year. These are the eclipses. These are the solar eclipses, right? Having my coffee. But I don't really focus on that as much. I do, of course, pay attention to when we have the summer solstice and the winter solstice. So I guess this is what they were referring to. They were talking about an event that comes up at the same time each year. And so they were looking in the book and they were kind of sort of asking questions. The teacher didn't know how to pronounce Ophiuchus, so I said it's Ophiuchus. And then the group that had the assignment for Ophiuchus was asking me how to say it. And so, I mean, I have actually watched I had like 8 free lessons on sidereal astrology, the houses and the zodiac, and you know, how to label them. And so I learned from this astrologer how to say Ophiuchus. And it's like a gigantic snake in the heavens, and I believe it's considered the center of the galaxy. So anyway, I told it doesn't show here, but it is depicted as a gigantic snake, or maybe even a dragon, but it's really more like there's a man holding this gigantic snake. So after a while they got restless, and I said, okay, let me tell you a little bit about me and my hobby. I am extremely into the stars and the constellations. Okay, I follow it, and I have an app, and so I described to them what it was, you know, Sky Tonight app, and it's free, and you can go to Google Play, and it looks like this, and you can hold it up to the sky, and it'll show you what's in the sky above you. And you can search for things like the moon, where's the moon, where is this or that. And I said, one thing that I have really learned in particular about the constellations is that when the moon is dark, in other words, you can't see it, that is a signal that a new constellation is coming in. And I knew at that moment, that's why I was sent to that classroom. So you never know when you're going to give a word of wisdom, you know, amidst all the chaos and the, you know, whatever it is, feeling lost at work and such. But they were fascinated. And I said, what I do is actually called birth astrology, right? Where I look at where the stars were when you were born, and I can actually tell you what you're going to do for a job and career. And they were gasping. And one girl in particular, I thought her eyes were going to bug out. And she came over to my desk a few minutes later and stood next to me and said, what is this astrology that you do? And I said, well, it's called natal astrology. We look at where the stars, and she said, how do you do it? And I said, well, first you have to learn about the constellations, and you have to learn about the planets, then you have to learn about all the different places they can be. We have like, it's put in a wheel, so I get your birth date and I get your time of birth, and then I put it into my computer program, and information comes out, and I look at where things are in this chart, and that's how I can see things. And she said, oh, that should be, what's it called? I said, well, it's basically like a birth chart, you know. And she said, oh, I think they should call it birth astrology. And I didn't tell her it is called natal astrology. That's what that means. So that was a really good feeling. And you know what? That's what it's about when you write a book or make a video or give a seminar. If you only reach one person, then it was worth it. If you go to a seminar or workshop and you only really learn one thing, then it was worth it. So I have been meditating on getting the amount of assignments that I really need so that I don't lose any of my benefits, you know, from the government. And I got called for a half a day today, so I'm going to quickly eat my breakfast and get ready to go out. So it's just a half a day, and it's going to be either kindergarten, first grade, or second grade. I don't really want to do third, fourth, or fifth anymore. But, you know, if I feel like I have to work today, then I guess I'll suck it up. And it also encouraged me to get on and finish my description, you know, of who I am and what I do, since I'm not certified by anybody anywhere. And the prices that I'm going to offer. I think I'm really just going to start with the first one, where I can look and see what job, career, energy area you would go into. And that could involve just being at home, right? So if you had a planet and an energy in the fourth house related to work and job and career, then you would feel that your work is at home. You would be a homemaker probably. Or you might choose to just do things from home, work from home in some capacity. So it could be either or it could be both. Now, I thought that was the case with me, but it's not. When I look at the planet that relates to my house of job and career, it's actually in the 9th house of Jupiter, which has to do with higher learning. Okay, so in other news, I got an email from my manager Friday the 13th. I went on my phone and I searched. And she had said that she had spoken to the neighbor, and they had told him that he needs to park somewhere else. Now, what she said was, since the parking seems to be the issue, I said, okay, thank you. Now, I don't know when she told him, but he was continuing to park over here, like all week, I think. It was either Wednesday or Thursday or possibly Friday. whatever day I'm sure that he had been told, I don't know, was when he blasted the radio. And he had also pulled in with his headlights on. And then after a few seconds, he turned them off. So it's an act of defiance, you know, and however, he is continuing to walk this way to walk his dog, and he turns his head to the left. But again, he's not coming back this way. So whatever way he went last night, I don't know, because he didn't come this way to walk the dog, so I don't know. But apparently, since Monday, I haven't seen him park over here at all. I do hear the truck. I think he's in front of his apartment door at his building over there. He's nowhere over here. And yeah, I mean, you know, I still have to pay attention. When I get notifications, there's a person at your door, I check my history and I look at all the videos and I look at who's coming and who's going. And I don't think it's a bad idea for anyone, okay? When people aren't looking, there's always a temptation for someone to behave badly. Oh, Diamond, she's snuggling. Yes. One day I said, Diamond, how come you sit over there all the time? Are you afraid to come next to me? Because you can come next to me and lay next to me on my leg. We can snuggle. And she was thinking about it, I guess, for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. And later, she actually came over. So now we do have the habit of snuggling, right? Yeah? When you feel that mommy's been stressed out and distant and you need some love and attention, yeah, we snuggle. Yeah, can you see her? No, you can't see her. So that's the news for today. I hope that you are enjoying yourself and finding something to decorate or enjoy. I would really like to get together with a couple of witches this year, but it's just so hard for people to, you know, get out and go out and get together. And I might just meet with maybe one or, you know, two people on separate occasions maybe. And but let me know if you're getting together with a coven or a couple of female witches, or, you know, male witches getting together, if you're doing anything. And yeah, I definitely feel also that the dark moon is very good for justice. I've known that for many years. I primarily worked on a Saturday for justice, but I think the dark moon can actually be used for justice. And yeah, it was interesting how I got that email on Friday the 13th. So there is, for me, a sense of justice. I feel lucky that I have good managers who are addressing it in the best way they can. Also, she responded back to me right away and she said, absolutely, like no problem. And she said, keep me posted as to what is going on. So that was really good. Yeah, it's nice to have nice managers, but again, you know, it's generally because you have to live, you're living in a place where you're paying more money, right? You're in a luxury townhouse apartment complex and we have rules. So have a good day and I will see you later.